He's about 10 minutes away, so we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order without him being here, and then he'll catch up when he gets here. So the first thing we're going to do is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, for roll call, Sandra Calvert.
Here.
Beth Wood.
Here.
Chad Van Ryn.
Here.
And Corbin April.
Okay. We need to approve the minutes from the last couple of meetings. And everybody has already gotten those minutes ahead of time. Has everyone had a chance
Yes.
to review them? Okay.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I will make a motion that we approve the May 21st, 2025 minutes and the July 10th, 2025 minutes.
You want to do them separately because I wasn't here for the May.
Okay, I'll make a motion to do the May 21st, 2025 minutes.
Okay, and I will second that motion.
Okay.
So all in favor?
Aye.
I abstained due to the fact that I wasn't here.
So 2 and 1.
I'll make a motion to accept the July 10th, 2025 minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so those are approved, 3 and 0. Okay, the next thing on our agenda is the design variance for Fresh Roots. So we're going to go ahead and open the public hearing for that matter. Are those associated with Fresh Roots here? Go ahead and come on up.
Can you click your microphone button on? It's that right in the middle, big button. Yep, thank you.
Hello. It's working.
So I think we're just.
Talking to the microphone, please.
Sorry. This is my stepmother, Sandy, and she's here to give permission that we needed the last time.
Okay, and this was transferring a small parcel of property, right?
Yeah, over to the Fresh Roots LLC from her property.
Your easement?
Yeah.
And you're in
it's- Huh?
and you're in agreement with that, right?
Yes.
It's not an easement, it's just,
Well, it's to give her better access to her portion.
right, but she'll own the property.
Yeah. Okay. Do I have a motion to, well, let's go ahead.
Gotta do a public hearing.
Yeah, does anybody have any comments on this property transfer? Okay. Hearing none, we'll go ahead and close that portion of the public comments.
I'm going to make a motion that we go ahead and accept her request and no conditions. We looked this over at the last meeting and all we needed was your approval.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right.
3 and 0. Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
good.
So we're good to go.
You're
Yeah.
good.
Thank you so much.
I will have paperwork for you. I'll get in touch with you. Just to let you know it's clear and approved.
Okay, and that closes that portion of the hearing. Okay, the next matter is the use variance for Graber. We'll go ahead and open that hearing. I'm going to go ahead and come forward.
I guess we're here tonight, seeing, we're glad to be here for you guys to give us a chance to possibly move into the county. We was here in the last meeting, as everybody's aware, looking for a variance on the property to own and operate a small business there. And I guess that's basically what we're after. I think
Okay,
there was.
you had mentioned at that
that you would possibly be moving to that property later? Is that still the plan?
That would be the goal, yeah, that's basically what we're after, is to live there and own and operate the business, yeah.
Do you know about how far down?
In the near future,
Yeah, would you have?
within a year's time.
Within a year?
Is what we're hoping,
Okay. That's the part I wanted,
yeah.
as far as a timeline as to when you plan on doing that. And
Yeah.
therefore, it won't be just a business, it'll also be your residential side.
Yeah, that's definitely what we had in mind. If we was to purchase the property and you guys would okay the variance, we would want to live there and operate the business from there.
Okay.
And I guess at the last meeting, there was some concerns about the drawing, and Steve here has tried to give us a little better idea of what we're looking at. So,
Yeah, I think the meeting was Thursday, but I think that we provided some information to Heather, and then I did bring in a folder for each one of you today. It's nothing new, it's just a better picture, and you may hopefully have that in front of you, but the first packet that's stapled together is a complete set of material and the design of the.
So it's nothing different than what you brought that we had before? Because we haven't had a chance to look this over.
It's just got a better drawing, I guess, really, of where they're planning to put.
So that's what was emailed to us, correct?
Okay, but do you have?
Yeah, it's the same thing you really have in your email.
Okay.
It just, the last one didn't copy well, and this one, shows, and I think you got it in front of you.
Yeah, this
It
is-
shows the excavating.
I just want to
pad.
make sure there's nothing
No
else slipped
change.
in there, okay?
No change other than you can just read it.
Right.
But
Okay.
there's like a building pad that would be out by a dozer to level it off, and the actual building's 60 by 80, and then there's a gravel road, the gravel lane that goes back to the building, and there'll be a house there later. All the desires will be that the drainage from the building pad and the building itself will head over to a pond, which is already there, which will act as a retention pond. But it's on 80 acres, it should, and then the last page is the actual topo. That'd be something I would think that you want to see the elevations, and it's on the last page there.
Can you put that on the computer? Please.
You want the documents you guys are looking at now on a computer?
No, I want the map.
You want the map? Okay. Do you have parcel number over there?
I do here someplace, 601401
She says.
203 030 001 020.
There you go.
Yay.
It's not on. Do you know why this one's not on?
There was a couple of them that weren't working recently.
I'll share this.
Here, over here. Thank you. You don't have to sit by me.
Is there another orange folder somewhere? Because I don't have an orange folder.
You don't, hold on.
Here. You can have that. I got all mine. Wait, what's this? But
Here's a green one.
It's recording.
Yeah. We got everybody here.
so are there any improvements on that property now?
What do you mean by improvements?
Any buildings, houses?
There's no structures on
Okay.
it, besides there's one small shack on it, I think.
Okay.
Of like a barn thing, wasn't it?
Well, it's just a small, like 8 by 8 is all it is.
How many employees were you thinking of having again? I thought it was like 5.
Between 3 to 5 is what we're shooting if we was to do something.
All right.
We're-
160 by 80 building and roughly 5 employees. This is the updated.
Oh,
It's
it's
site map. They just actually see what they're thinking.
right.
We are definitely wanting to keep it fairly small. I've been trying to pay attention. I think we have an average of about 4 vehicles per day, and maybe about 1 semi per month is about what we're doing now there. So that's what we would be shooting to do, I guess. Maybe if anything smaller, we're not looking to get any bigger.
I was going to ask about traffic increase, but
Yeah.
no, it's not.
Yeah, 1 semi a month isn't
No,
very
that's-
heavy.
That was going to be my next question. You answered before I asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, there's things that you have to get on truck freight. We try to shy away from that as much as possible. Just because where we're at there now, it's kind of tough for them to get in and out.
Are you
And-
delivering the finished product yourself, or
We
do trucks-
don't.
do
the,
trucks come in to get it?
They come in to get it, but that's not semi. It's all on a truck and trailer.
Like a box truck or?
Yeah, well, not a box truck. It would be a pickup truck,
Oh,
like a box trailer most of the time.
That just tells us how much it will increase traffic flow on the road too.
Mhm.
Most of that would be maybe like once a week on average.
Okay. All right, does anybody okay. Go ahead and state your name.
Mark Lewis.
Okay.
My son is Zach Spears.
Do you want to go ahead and come on up?
You can come up in this. Do they have anything else that they need to share? They can leave.
I don't think so.
Okay. So you guys can go ahead and sit back down unless you have anything else that you need to share with us.
Yeah.
I just got one quick thing. We're the only people other than Joe Lowe that live within an earshot of this place. And we do not object. We think it's a great idea. It'd be nice to see somebody take care of problems.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
We appreciate that.
saying that. Yep.
Good. I did have a question. I know you said you were gonna live on the property.
That would be our intention.
That'll be your, what, are you gonna have factory open or your shop open and then move your family in there, or what's your intentions?
Well,
Your travel means is horse and buggy, right?
that's correct.
So that'd be pretty tough for them to.
Oh, so they're gonna pretty much live there then?
We would be living there at the
Okay.
property, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons for this. You're within so many miles of the school, right?
It's close to the school that they've got there, yeah. Yeah. As far as the property, I guess you guys are aware, we don't own the property. And that's what we're after, you know.
Mhm.
If we can't do it, then why go ahead and purchase
Why
it?
purchase it?
Right,
Yes.
right.
Right.
So that's what we're kind of against, you know, we want to get this cleared up, and there's no use spending $500,000 on a
Oh,
property.
no.
Not be able to utilize it, so.
And kind of what I've been trying to do is source a piece of property which is
Mhm.
within 5 miles or less of the Amish school.
Yeah.
And Clay County has some possibilities, Owen County has some possibilities, and this is pretty close.
Right.
And there's a community of you, residents, relation, what have you.
Yeah.
So,
I guess my question would be for Heather. So would the current property owner be the one that needs to file for the variance?
No,
or-
because you have an authorization from the property
Okay.
owner in your packet allowing him to do business for the property.
Sounds good. I just want to make sure we're kosher. with
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, I covered that
we had a
side.
piece of paper
Yes.
months ago signed by him,
Getcha.
giving this gentleman the right to come and talk to you guys.
Perfect. That's all I needed.
Does anybody else have any comments on this matter? Okay, if not, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing on this part.
And I know I did speak to Joel Lowe, as he mentioned he was in support of this as well. That's one person I talked to outside of those that are here, but I don't know if any of you have heard from anybody else as far as support or against it. But I know Joel Lowe, which is one of the property owners here, I guess Lowe Sales, he did voice his support.
And we've had
I guess you guys notified all the property owners, but
Yeah.
I
They've
did
all
speak
been-
to a couple of them, and they didn't have no objections. I guess they've all been notified, so. You thought you talked to one of them, and you talked to Carl or?
Yeah, Mr. Harden was here at the last meeting. He was fine, but he just wanted to know whether it was going to be turkey barns or hog barns.
Right,
what it was gonna be.
right. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Anybody got anything else?
I would just want to make sure that there's, I think, is Kelly Road one of those community crossing roads?
I have no idea.
I don't know, on the list as far as the highway department, which qualifies for
It's
the...
on the community crossing road, so just, if we grant the variance, I would want to make sure that you have ample driveway to get a semi in there, you know, and turn around. You don't want any issue like that.
So would you be constructing the driveway yourself, or would you have a contractor construct the driveway, or?
We would probably do part of it on our own. It just depends on what we get into. It's kind of tough to table at this point.
Right.
That'd be something that they need to contact the highway department, make sure they.
Make sure that they just need to
Yeah.
we could put that stipulation in
Yeah.
in the variance to state that they would have to get approval from the highway department to make sure it's gonna stay.
Yeah, because they're going to redo that road this year, so it's going to be nice for you.
So they're gonna, when they got the money to do it,
Most of them paved.
Paving it.
Most of those roads, they've been known that community crossings have been paved roads. I can't guarantee that's what they're gonna do, but there's certain grants that they're gonna allow them to do that,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was the question, would there be enough room to turn around? Or what?
You would want a driveway wide enough and culverts steady and sturdy
You're gonna look
enough.
at 50 feet or so. I mean, familiar with grain trucks, when you say Corbin to turn into,
Yeah,
it takes a,
it takes quite a bit for a semi to get in there, but as long as it's up to code, I don't know what the standard is, as long as someone's there to
once you
verify
get
it.
turned in, it doesn't have to be 50 feet wide. But
Correct.
We usually on our farms.
Yeah,
have
on
to make a
approach,
pretty wide
yeah.
turn in.
Mhm.
But I tried, we talked about the building pad up on the hill there. It'll have to be adequate of size to park and turn around.
Right. Any other comments, or?
No.
I'd make a motion to approve contingent on getting with the highway department for whatever you decide to do for a driveway, and make sure that we're good with the highway department's good with what you plan on doing.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Yeah. Thank you guys for
Yeah,
coming.
thank you very much.
Thanks for coming back. Welcome to Owen County.
these pictures, you guys, thank you.
Oh, you betcha.
Thank you.
Set you a couple out there on the counter, maybe these people will grab some on their way out.
Yes. Take one down and
you know, I
pass
might grab me
it
an
around.
extra too.
We'll grab a couple.
You got enough for your kids?
Oh, yeah, they're playing. My wife will be angry if I bring too many home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just take them cookies
Yes.
and Mountain Dew.
That's
I'll
right,
touch it.
sugar them up. Yeah.
That concludes that matter. Now we're going to open the public hearing.
Wait, let's. Use your gavel.
There's one right there.
Yes.
Oh, those are good.
Oh, I bet. Okay, now we're going to move on and open the matter of the use variance for Holloway.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, how are you? Okay, and this is a matter that is continued from last month as well. So is there new things that we need to,
Let me preface my comments to those of you who don't know me. My name is Terry English. I've been an attorney here and in and around Spencer for 47 years. And in my recollection, I have never appeared before the Board of Zoning Appeals before. I do different kinds of work, but if you have a bankruptcy question, I'm happy to answer it. Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. I do not intend to prolong the argument much here. I've been asked by Ms. Holloway for me to come and to try to put some clarification as to where we are. All right? It seems to me that this whole conversation is somewhat misguided. It's always been my practice never to tell a woman that she's wrong. But I think in this particular instance, after having reviewed the record and everything that's in the record and what she's asked for, I think that the application for variance overreaches. The fact is that the Board of Zoning Appeals has no jurisdiction at all to circumscribe festivals, to do anything to give them any approval or clarity or anything else. That's entirely a matter for the county commissioners. This board does in fact have the approval mechanism by which it can approve a variance. And in this particular case, I would ask the board to allow me to, on the record, scale back the petition simply to indicate that we're here tonight simply to ask you for a variance to allow a building on the site and to allow educational activities and to use that particular business, that building for business purposes. The fact is that she may have indicated last time, and there were questions certainly last time from the audience and from Sheila and everyone else concerning the festival that took place in May and how that was handled, and that it was a burden to the community. I felt like that's what they said at that particular time, and that one of the objections here is that perhaps that shouldn't happen again. But that is not, in fact, why we're here tonight. All right? So what I would ask, you have the power under the ordinance to either approve this, to deny it, or give conditional approval to it. And I would note that that's very, very important to give the conditional approval. And I've suggested in the brief that I filed with you in support of this, that one of the conditions be that she not have a festival in this particular quadrant of the county without proper permissions. And the fact is that that may sound like a hollow condition, but the fact is that if she wants to do that, I'm sure that I can't pin her down and say she won't consider it in the future, but she does in fact have to go through the commissioners. We can live with 20 people out in that quadrant using public streets for access in and out of the site periodically. That's all we're talking about at this particular juncture. I also find it a little disconcerting that this seems to me, after having looked at the record, that this was all done backwards. I mean, I guess the question is, these folks have already had a festival on the site, all right? They have already obtained from the county a permit to construct a building. There are 3 buildings that have been constructed there. They have a septic permit to put in a septic system. The fact is that you haven't given them a variance to use the property, so they've gone already to the time, trouble, and expense with the permission of the county to go ahead and install these things and put them there. And the fact is that I believe that this would have been better approached, perhaps, if they had asked for a variance before they did construction, before they got the permits, before they contracted and paid money and got a septic permit. They should have done that before they got a festival up and running and basically scared the bejesus out of all the people out here, with thousands of people using antiquated roads to get to the festival site. That didn't make any common sense to me. But the fact is that, yes, they did that, but they also had the permission of the county sheriff and Homeland Security and the county commissioners to do that. So all of them have said previously, these are good folks. They deserve to be able to do this. I don't begrudge them trying to do this if in fact that's what they want. What I want from you tonight is approval to grant them a conditional variance so that they can use their small building to go ahead and get things started. I would go out, if I had the opportunity, to take my wife to buy lavender when it's in bloom. This time of year, I have a number of clients who come to my office who don't bathe on a regular basis, and I would be glad to have some lavender to place in my office.
It'll definitely take care of that.
So we'll take care of that, good care of that. So I want to thank you for your time. Again, I don't think we need to reiterate from my clients the record in this particular case. I think the minutes, I did compare those to the YouTube, and those are very, very good minutes, and they accurately reflect everything that was said at that time. So I don't see a need to open up to the floor. I guess I would just like to have your vote. And the other thing that just one other thing I was concerned about, maybe it's not a concern, is that the statute also says that you're to give specific findings of fact if you approve or disapprove, and I don't know that that's always forthcoming. I guess in this particular case, if you choose to deny the petition, I would ask for those findings of fact, and those are written and those are required by the ordinance, and we would request those at that time. I'm happy to answer any questions. You can tell that I'm losing my voice. There's nothing more worthless in the whole world than an attorney who can't talk. But I'm happy to.
It might be a good thing.
Periodically, but when you charge by the hour, thank you so much. Anything else my clients can answer for you this evening?
Do we need to open the public hearing and then
Yes.
close it and then we'll discuss?
Yeah, we need to give these people that are here
That's fine.
a chance to speak.
That's fine.
Does anybody have anything that they would like to add to this matter?
I have a couple of questions.
Okay, go ahead and state your name.
Yeah, state your name.
Come forward.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wendy Connell, I live at 10021 Newport Road. I am their neighbors, and I had a couple
Heather.
of questions. I have a thing written up, but when they were talking, I
So
was
she can get the mic.
wondering.
Ma'am, can you come up
You're at the
here?
front to the front so we can get to catch the mic here.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
And if I may remain here so I can attempt to answer your questions.
Oh, yes, no problem.
You're fine.
Okay, first of all, I have this from a neighbor. I don't know if you want to see it or not. I was going back through some records, and she had contacted the school in December and spoke with them the 2nd of January about renting or donating money to Patricksburg School to be able to use a bus. So she spoke with them in December. She had her event in May, filed for the variance in June. So she already had this pre-planned, the festival part of it, which is concerning to me because she could do it again. And then on her records, on her application, she contains false parcel measurements. Petitioner stated her parcel is 660 by 660 feet. Her own deed submitted with her application shows dimensions of 679.85 by 639.13 by 679.86 by 642.33 feet. She signed her application under penalty of perjury. If she didn't sign have the right dimensions. Okay? The petitioner failed to provide complete and accurate responses to required findings and facts questions specifically 5C and E, the BZA rules require denial when the application is incomplete or inaccurate. I'm just going by the BZA rules. Ingress, egress, parking, and roadway specifications are misrepresented or absent. Required application details such as driveway specifications, paved width, and parking layout were not accurately provided. Emergency access and safety concerns are not addressed in the application. The last event caused a 45-minute road blockage on Newport Road, posing a direct risk to fire, EMS, law enforcement, and response. I did speak with the police department. They said if they had an issue in the future, they would come, they would address it. They weren't aware of the issue. Things do happen, we understand that. But if there's a fire, if there's an emergency, if there's an issue with parking, if there's an issue with the roads, we live right next door. They have to either come around and go down Mount Zion Road, or they have to go up and come down 750, which is a different county. Intended use is inconsistent with the agricultural zoning designation. Petitioner stated lavender farming will occur for only 3 weeks per year, while festivals and events will operate May, October, making the primary use commercial entertainment. I want to know, has she grown any lavender there? She's had it for over a year. The only lavender we've seen has been sitting in pots. Has there been any progress made? Per the Board of Health, there's not been an approval on the septic system as of the end of June. Conclusion, based on the findings and facts, I've substantiated that the petitioner's failure to provide written findings for required questions, specifically 3, 4, and 5, and her submission of false parcel measurements of the BZA is required to deny this petition. That's all I have.
How much was the parcel measurements off?
She said 600 feet, and it's 660 by 660 feet. And 679.85 by 639.13 by 679.86 by 642.33, and hers had said it was 660 by 660.
So would that make these maps off then?
Maybe.
Do we go by the legal description contained in the deed, or do you go by the application?
You would go by the legal description.
So we're talking to 20 foot, 15 foot. She's actually said less than what she actually has, correct? I mean, we're not talking significant, like she overstated, she had twice as much property as she had, or something, drastic. To me, if she had put approximately 650 foot rather than 650 foot, then it would be irrelevant. That's my opinion. Trying to find the page you're referencing,
Here, you can look at this. My concern would be if we're getting too close to the neighbors there.
It is very, it is very, very close to the back of our property. I mean, I can stand on the back of our property and look, and I can see the trails. I mean, they are that close to our property. My concern is a safety issue. 1,000 people, whatever, one wanders off, one drinks too much, one's in my backyard. I have grandchildren, great-grandchildren. I don't want that. I just don't want that.
Thank you for your comments. Is there any other comments from anybody in support or against? Please come forward and you can introduce yourselves.
We're Mary Jo Smock. We are the owners of Playshire Castle. And I'm also Dr. Stein, who's your first and only pediatrician in Orange County for the last 7 years.
Great.
So I have a vested interest in.
There you go.
Can you spell your last name for me? I'm sorry.
SMOCK.
Yeah,
No.
we have that medieval fair every year.
Yeah, you guys reside in Clay County, is that correct?
Right, and that's the point I wanted to make, was
Yes.
that our property actually, it butts up to Owen County. We are in Clay County. We've owned that property for almost 20 years, and I have to say, we have been welcomed by Clay County. They see the advantages of us being there. We pay taxes, we draw people to the community. And I've known Rebecca for a long time, of about 10 years, and she is a wonderful person, and I think the only mistake she made was that she decided that she would, I think knowing that we were out there, bought property within, 5-7 miles of where we are, and this is the way that, she's been treated.
How many acres do you own over there?
We owe 120, plus or minus 10.
Yeah, that's my point. I mean,
Yeah.
your plus or minus is equivalent to what?
Right, and when we've gone to measure where the border is, I don't know if you've ever done this, trying to mark the trees
Oh,
in
yeah.
the woods, it's really
Very tough.
hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to have a surveyor to get it
Yeah.
accurate.
And
yeah.
we have like 6,000 to 7,000 people show up for our fair.
Yep.
And,
We've had no problems with neighbors, anything. It's only a once a year event. We coordinate, we actually support the neighborhood. We try to hire as many people as we can. We give employment. We have, as
they
we
go
give
out to
first.
the restaurants.
Yes, and we do,
get the local
we
buses.
try to give first dibs on our vendors to anybody who's local. We get a lot of people from Spencer who are selling at our fair. So, I mean, we've been to Rebecca's Fair in Indianapolis as well as here in Owen County. It's not a mean thing. It's for children. It's fun. The kids come dressed up as fairies. There's nobody that would be scary.
They have a little
at
unicorn
all.
walking around.
Yeah,
Where's
it's,
the unicorn?
it's entertainment, and it's something, in this time of, in the world right now, it's nice to have something that's uplifting, fun, making the children, I'm partial to children, being a pediatrician, giving them something fun to look forward to and enjoy.
This is not a heavy drinking event.
No.
Okay?
And there's not even loud music, sorry.
But there is, excuse me. I live next door, I heard it at the last festival.
I was there too.
How late? They close at, what,
6
6
o'clock.
o'clock?
There's no amplified music.
No.
I guess my question, I'm not real familiar with the Clay County's restrictions and stuff, but for Clay County, did they have zoning? Did they make you guys
No.
rezone? Okay.
We own, but,
That's why I didn't know.
yeah, we
So
own
it's a-
property in Morgan County before we purchased the,
Right.
in Clay County. In Clay County, I made an appointment for zoning, and the guy says, I'm gonna save you a trip. We don't have zoning,
Yeah,
except for
so
the
again,
paths.
that's where the difference is
Yeah.
too, because apples and
Yeah.
oranges, where I think there's some different regulations and processes here in Owen County we'll have to go through. I think I'm not
Right.
saying either way with this, what they're wanting to do, but I would say I'm glad you guys voiced your concern and your support for this, but
Yeah,
it's really,
absolutely.
from my perspective, we really want to make sure the local community, the property owners adjacent are all in support of it. That's my big
Right.
thing, because they're the ones that are going to be affected mostly. And I think it's great that, I agree, bring families into the county is
Yeah,
awesome.
you wanna put Owen
Yeah.
County on the map.
But it still has to be in the best interest of the local folks that are adjacent to that property too,
And
so.
from what I understood was the problem they had where it couldn't get through with traffic was because somebody's truck went off the side of the road.
I
It
can't
wasn't-
answer that.
No,
Yeah,
that
That's
was,
just
because we were trying
a
to pull
small
in.
issue.
That was a small issue.
One of
What I'm
the
saying
issues.
is that was one of the issues. If it's a problem with the traffic, well, yeah, you still could get in and out normally. It's just if the car is parked and goes off, that could happen anywhere.
You can, yes, yes.
It could happen with us too,
I
bus could go
actually
off to
said
the
the
side.
same thing last month at our meeting, accidents happen.
Yeah.
I said pretty much the same thing you just did, but
Yeah.
I've been to your guys' festival, and
Oh, did you enjoy it?
I've been to your festival a couple of times, yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah. Remind me of the family reunion, because all my family's, into all that kind of stuff, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think comparing the two of them, like he was saying, it's apples and oranges. It's not, there's no comparison to having your festival on 120 acres. The roads are not much better.
No.
Actually,
But I think they are,
Yeah.
I don't.
Our roads
No.
are, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Ours are gravel.
So it's more.
Ours was a one-lane gravel, they've now got it to a lane and a half gravel, but we have to direct the traffic. We're
Right.
very careful about you can't go on the main road, and we have
That would be my
one
only,
lane.
that
Yeah.
was one thing that I thought it's like, man, we're out here in the sticks. Now, I live in Owen County, don't get me wrong, I'm used to it, but when I went, it was parked down here, and then the buses, cars was up there.
Yeah.
Probably where Rebecca
But you
got
see why we
the
had to
idea.
do that.
Yeah, I get
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
But again, you guys could have however many people you want, your 120 acres, and your neighbors won't care as long as they're there. This 10-acre property, what they're doing is so close to the neighbors, they can't help but notice it, you know?
Yeah.
They can't ignore it. You know, your neighbors can't see your house, let alone hear it or know what's going on at the festival. That makes, in my mind, it makes a big difference.
Do you guys have anything else to add?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Huh?
Yep, Sheila.
Sheila.
Go ahead and state your name. Yeah.
Yes, state your names and talk into the microphone, please.
Live at 9260 Newport Road. Yes, I'm down a little ways from them, but we still travel that area, Benton Road. I own 80 acres on that road as well. Again, we're talking the neighbors. We're talking what is okay. You know, the last meeting, I think it was more focused on the festival because that was what was discussed, and I think that is what we all thought it was. I stated in that meeting if it was just the lavender farm, within reason, because it is a small parcel, but I would still, it would be okay. But it's produced bigger than that. There is more. There's been conversation there, you know, whether it's festivals one or two times a year, or it's just the everyday traffic. We're a small rural area, a lot of farming. We just got done doing 30 bales of hay. There's people that have corn and beans and everything else in the area. To be bringing it in May is normally like your planting months and those kinds of things. I just think for this area and the people, it is just not the right thing for the community, especially if the festivals are involved. If it's the lavender farm with conditions that it stays just that, within limits that, and again, Wendy and them are next door. It's right there. It's hard not to see, hear, or do.
Yeah.
I wish anybody, again, I have been around planning and zoning since I started in May 26th of 2003 to be exact. So I'm familiar with what you can and can't do, and we all agree. There was a big long meeting last night. Our ordinances need fixed. They do need updated for things like this. But there's also a proper process, and it was not followed in this instance.
Thank you, Sheila.
Anyone else? Go ahead,
Yep.
come on up.
Come on.
My name is Rhonda Kelly. My middle name is Jill. Everybody calls me Jill. My mom calls me Rhonda. I live at 8800 Morgan Road. I'm in the forgotten northwest corner of Owen County. I've known Rebecca for 3 years now. Terrible speaker, sorry. I have been a vendor at all her events that she's done that have been somewhat local. We even drove to Avon. That was my first experience with the festival, and I was hooked. And it was not a drunken fest. Any of the festivals she's done has not been a drunken fest, so you can mark that off.
Well, it was an alcohol truck there, so.
Yes, and having been a bartender, we are responsible for those people who drink, so we don't overserve.
Can you talk to us,
Oh,
Yeah.
please?
sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, there was an alcohol truck there. Those people, their lives and their license is on the line, so they're not going to overserve. You're not going to end up with drunks falling over everywhere. They have the right to serve. They have the right to refuse service. And they do their job because they go to jail if they don't. That's that. As far as the music, I was set up in the middle of that event, and I could not hear the music. I didn't even know half the time it was going on. And I'm watching all the kids run around in their little fairy suits and their whatnot. But anyway, the roads, they are what they are. They're not gonna get better anytime soon. They're not gonna get worse, you know, in my opinion. I've also done Clayshire. I live out by them. Having done their festival as well, we used to be their neighbor in Owen County. We watched the castle being built. Never had any issue with anybody wandering off over onto our property. Never even knew it was going on. I get the traffic where we live now from their event because it comes down the back roads, which are heinous. So I, no better way to put that, but it is what it is.
Yep.
We live out there because we like quiet. Now, a couple days a year, it's not so quiet. We don't care. I wish they had come to our area of Owen County and built, because I would love if they were our neighbor. I think they'll be good stewards of land. I don't think they're gonna, I know that they're not gonna let it get out of hand. And you know, we're talking one weekend out of a whole year for a festival. Not that it's still about zoning. As far as the gift shop, we have been invited to be a vendor at that gift shop. We are a local maker. You know, I'd like to build my name here too. And she's a great marketer. I think Owen County is missing out if you don't bring something into this county for these kids to do and for the adults to do, other than doing meth. Because boredom leads to God knows what. But that's my opinion. I hope you approve it.
And real quick, you're not currently adjacent to her property that we're talking about? You just live in Owen County as another resident?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not currently adjacent to her.
Okay.
But we're like 10 minutes up the road.
Gotcha.
She even gave us directions to go up Mount Zion to keep the traffic
Yeah.
off of Anderson Road and Newport Road as much as possible. And that was conveyed to everyone. Please don't use this road. Please use this road.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else?
I just have one more thing to offer, very quickly, and then I'll leave you alone. I had submitted a letter from a realtor in regards to this. Number one was the impact on property values. There is an impact on property values when you bring in commercial property next door. Disruption of residential character and zoning precedents of future developments. I submitted this letter to Heather, so you should have a copy of it.
Yeah.
But I just want you to know that it does impact our property. You know, we bought out there a year and a half ago. Lovely property. Love the quietness of it. And that's, I just want to bring this to your attention, that it does affect my property value. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Which I would add that I'm almost guaranteeing that the next time they assess their property for tax purposes, that their assessed value will go up. So they'll be generating more money for the county and not less. So it's not diminishing property values, it's actually increasing.
Thank you.
Heather, do you have the guidelines that we read into the record at the last meeting, the things that we have to follow to? Because at this point, I'd like to read that in again.
Beth, do you have it in your giant binder thing?
In my big old stack of stuff here.
I think it would be a good idea to read that back.
So much crap here.
Yeah.
That, it's this, that's what, this is, he's got original.
This is the state statute that covers variances. And these are the factors that consider in determining whether you want to grant a variance.
Yeah, I think we need to read,
Yeah.
I think we need to read this back into the record for this one.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want me to do that?
No, I can do it.
No.
Microphone's way over here. Okay, I'm going to read the standards for a zoning variance. And number one is the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner, and the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. However, the zoning ordinance may establish a stricter standard than the practical difficulty standard prescribed by this subdivision. So those are what we have to meet with this variance. And I'm going to go ahead and close the public comment portion of the meeting, or of the hearing.
So now our discussion we can have here. So just to make sure I'm on the same page with the rest of y'all, I mean, the variance is mainly for the gift shop, correct? That we're talking about here, so whether or not to allow the business to operate as a permanent gift shop. And my opinion is if you're going to have a permanent gift shop, it really would need to be rezoned into a commercial standard versus just giving a variance. It's going to be a permanent shop. That's my opinion of the matter on that.
It would fall under the agritourism guidelines if she was selling her lavender or making things on her farm with that, but having other vendors come in, that is a commercial operation.
Yeah.
I do want to make it on the record, I abstained from voting last time because there was some issues. I knew there were emails that had been back and forth, and I wanted to make sure that the other board members were aware of that. We've all got the same information now. And I don't want you to think we're picking on you. It's been the process of how things have come along. I don't think that it was done correctly. I know you did show us a letter that was signed by you, but not by our commissioners. I don't know if that ever got signed.
In regards to the, with Anthony, I'm sorry, is that, am I correct? That went through Anthony?
Did that get signed, Tony? The agreement and release?
The agreement, I know it was signed by them. And I sent it to Sam.
Okay.
Did Sam ever sign it?
No.
I'm sorry?
Did Sam ever sign it, like for his approval?
I don't remember.
No.
You don't, okay.
The copy
He
we
and I
have,
talked about it.
Yeah.
the copy we have is unsigned.
Yeah.
Because if it was just a lavender farm, you wouldn't really need any, now the fact that you had to throw the store in, that's where it become, to me, that in my mind, that goes from an agricultural business to a commercial business. So that's where, instead of just getting a variance, you need to consider looking at an actual rezone, which is done by the Plan Commission and not by the BZA.
And that's what my thought is too, is that it probably needs to be rezoned because.
Well, and also in your application, you've attached to that you want to have the events and everything. I would not be opposed to give you a variance for the Lavender Agritourism Farm specifically. But we would have to set standards upon that. I would want to make sure that you didn't have the events. If you did, they would have to come before our board to approve that, other than just the commissioners, because we have the time to investigate and make sure everything is properly done and not willy-nilly. And I know that you've been working on this since August because of last year, because I've got some of those emails back and forth to Suzanne. So that's,
And I do agree that's part of the issue because of the transitions we've had even on our group, you know, I mean, it was, when Heather came in, there was a lot she didn't know, just out of ignorance that, so there was things that we found out paperwork wise that should have been done differently in different orders. Nothing that you guys did wrong, but on both sides there. But I think looking at all the facts now, just kind of where I'm standing is, you know, if it was to move forward, it'd be best for the county to look at a rezone versus just a temporary variance for the property. Unless you guys have other thoughts there.
If she was only selling lavender, would you be opposed to having her gift shop, just for the sake of clarity? If you were only selling, if she was only selling her products, you guys would be fine with giving her approval or not?
For me, if it's a set business where you're having consistent like hours, everything, it was a seasonal deal where you're selling, you know, then I wouldn't need the approval. But if you're gonna have, where you're gonna have commercial people, like when I think of a storefront, you're gonna have traffic coming in on a consistent basis. It doesn't matter if you're selling her stuff or whose other stuff, you're gonna have traffic continually coming through there for that. But if, I'm willing to entertain if you guys can make an argument stating that it'd be just her products, but I believe the intentions, the way I read, is to sell multiple products, not just your own products.
yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't have a problem selling other farm products. I mean, it's not like she's trying to build a Walmart.
Right.
Personally, I mean,
that's
if she
commercial
was
though.
selling this other
It is.
That's
vendor's,
commercial.
stuff, okay, fine, it's made in Owen County. It's not like
I agree.
she's buying it from Temu and selling it, or however Temu is pronounced. But personally, that's my opinion.
Right.
And the, you know, the agritourism thing, great.
I think it is great.
Berry Festival, I absolutely, if that was something that you were still dead set on it, I would agree that it needs to be rezoned, but personally, I'm good with Terry's recommendations, honestly.
So if you were going to grant it, I mean, what conditions would you stipulate on there if it was going to be?
Not having Fairy Festivals to thousands of people, or 1,000 people showing up over the weekend.
Because to me, it's a separate deal with, we're just considering the fact of the gift store. I think the festival is obviously a hot topic, but for this meeting that we're having here right now is just regarding to the store itself, which to me, it's a whole different issue. So we got to look at this just based off of the gift shop side of the business, and that's where I'm at. That's why
Well, the trails, you know, you're looking at trails and all, and that could all be with agritourism. But then my thought is on the trails, how close are we gonna be to the neighbor's property? You know, with 10 acres, you don't, they've got 100 and some. But with 10 acres, you can scope out 10 acres real easy.
Yep.
The trails are all within the setbacks, if we were to do a building, they're within that distance.
But who says that somebody might not wander off? That's my thought.
And they are lined, we have them roped off, there's barriers.
Fencing?
Do you guys have a recommendation on
There's-
how far should be?
I think the normal setback's 75 foot, correct?
Well, I'm thinking.
25 from property lines.
25.
But if you're on a trail,
The
you're not
trails-
gonna know where your setback is.
If the trails are marked,
if it's not
you've got a
clearly
fence-
marked.
If you've got a fence, and then that could alleviate some issues for the neighbor as
We have
well.
a dead hedge, which is essentially a natural fence that is along the property line, not the entirety of the property line that meets with the puddles, but with Wendy, but a portion of it where the trail is closest to it. We have a roped off area, along, like the trails are lined with ropes. So you have to climb over the ropes and go through the brush. More than, I don't know, numbers on the spacing on that, before you could even get close to their property. And they did put up, their entirety of their property line has got a very prominent barbed wire fence. I mean, there's.
it sounds like you've solved the problem of people wandering onto your property
Well, no, not
already.
necessarily, because they can go under the barbed wire. It's not low, you could go under the barbed wire. As far as the fence that they put up, it's only on part of it. It's not completely along the whole entire property line. Yes, they could still get onto our property. It's very easy. I can go onto their property, not that I
I mean, they could build a building within 25 foot of their property line without getting variance, right?
Yes,
provided they had it.
as long as within.
But we're talking about people literally walking on the trails within 25 foot of the property line is a problem. I mean, that to me is kind of wild, to be honest with you.
No, to me, it's like you mentioned before, it's back to the fact of, which it sounds like their intentions is to do more events and have more things, and if they're gonna have a storefront and make this a permanent place to do those things, it really should need to be rezoned, in my opinion,
The
versus
events
just.
that we have, the lavender event, which will be during harvest season, which isn't an event, it's not anything like what the Fairy Festival was. We're talking about just have a celebration of the lavender picking, which means we'll have increased people, but not ticket sales for that. It's not going to be anything like that initially, which we're welcome to hear any conditions. You know, we were talking about like having a food truck and maybe a musician, you know, playing while people pick lavender, photographers taking photos, very small. And our intention was to, you know, have a special event with the festival, the Fairy Festival, and beyond that, the other events are workshops as part of the daily operating business of the gift shop. And we're talking 20 people per workshop.
Right. And it's a daily operation, which to me tells me it's more a commercial versus just a agricultural. I mean, I think what you guys are doing, I think what you're doing is great. I just think where it needs to be and how it needs to be structured needs to be tweaked a little bit. I don't have an issue with you wanting to bring people to your property and do things. I just want to make sure we do it the proper way.
I just
Then you gotta
wanted to clarify that.
Right.
We're not talking about like,
Yes.
they're having big blowouts.
Yeah, every weekend you're having concerts and create loud noises and things like that. I understand. Yeah, I understand that's not your intention. But it opens up the door to that if down the road, if we granted a variance for certain things, it opens up the door for that. So I just want to make sure that it's all handled properly. So when we get to that point, that way you've got more freedom to do however you want to.
If you grant a variance, now, it's a conditional variance that allows you the permission to revisit this and to revoke that variance should you choose to do that. That's all part of your ordinance. And the fact is that you don't know exactly what's going to happen here, but you can put whatever conditions that you want. And if you continue to have problems that are provable problems, then you can revoke the variance and be done with it. Then they can ask for the change of zoning if they want to do. My guess is that there's substantially more resistance to a commercial rezoning of this particular piece of property than there would be a variance. And again, you have the ability to put conditions here and to attempt to revoke that in the event that those conditions are not met.
Are you looking at running the gift shop?
Pardon me?
Sorry, I'm directing this to the back. Are you planning on running the gift shop all year round?
No, it is May through September, it's seasonal.
May through September, during growing season then?
Summer months. Any other discussion?
If you're leaning towards the variance and you say events, you're not going to have them, but then maybe the only event you would have is the lavender harvest. Then you're getting bigger and bigger. How many people do you expect to be there?
I would imagine they would have to go through the same process as any special events in Owen County in front of the commissioners through that ordinance, or, you know, correct me if I'm not understanding that correctly.
I think the event, clarify if I'm wrong, but I think that the event requirement doesn't kick in until we have like 250 people that are planning to come and for a dedicated reason, all right? Not just that they will show up for a harvest, but they will actually have a full-blown event. So again, I think numbers here trigger that, and I looked at the Owen County ordinance, and I'm really not sure that that's their figure. They use that in a number of other municipalities, and then they have to go before them and jump through all the hoops, state and local, in order to get an event permit. And again, same thing I say, if the numbers are not what she promises, then revisit it. Take a look at it and see. There's some incentive here for us to try to get this approved conditionally. Let her see where exactly it's going.
As far as conditions, theoretically, just to throw them out there. Paths need to be clearly marked where people know where the paths are. Property line is obviously marked on Ms. Caldwell's side. You guys are concerned about her workshop, her building. Only her products are available to be sold, or only local vendors, maybe. Or, I mean, if there's a sticking point there, it's just only her stuff. It's on,
Yeah, I just,
you know, I mean, if that's how
to me, we're gonna do it, all these condition, and then, well, who's gonna go be the one responsible for making sure that all these conditions are met?
That's every
And that's why, I mean, I feel like you can get so much in the weeds with all the conditions and everything, and we've got adjacent property owners that are already not happy with it. That's, to me, we gotta think about them as well with that. So I'd be, I don't know, because you know, then every condition where they don't meet, we're gonna get a call, well, they didn't meet this condition. Well, then we gotta, okay, well, slap them on the wrist. Well, you didn't do this. Well, then who's gonna be that? So
that's every case we will see from here until
probably eternity. Like one or two conditions, but having just writing down, you can't do this, can't do that. I think I don't want to restrict him, be restrictive of what they can do. Just to me, if you make it a commercial, which I don't know. Again, I don't know what.
I don't know. I look at that map and I see somebody trying to plop commercial in there. I think it would be a.
Yeah.
I don't. It wouldn't happen. I mean, there's no way. Conditional use variance, you know, gives us the authority to revoke it if there is continued problems. No. I'm thinking out loud.
Yeah, me too.
There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't know that we can, I see once it's passed, then how hard is it gonna be to revoke? It's gonna be real hard to revoke.
Not necessarily. I mean,
And who's gonna be the babysitter?
Right. Well, I mean, I think the neighbors would be
Well,
in contact if there was continued problems and issues. I mean, they're gonna be the babysitter. I mean, really, to answer the question.
It's not fair on us.
no, it's
You're
not.
worried about what your neighbor's doing on their own property, that's your concern, I get that, but they have just as much right to be free on their property as you do, and I understand your concern. I mean, looking at it from both sides.
Yep.
I'm not gonna tell my neighbor what they can do on their property unless they're bugging me to death, and I understand exactly where you're coming from in that aspect.
I'm not the only neighbor that's complaining.
Did you read through all the letters? I mean, we
Oh,
had
yeah,
several, and we had some in favor as well.
There are some in favor. That's what I was gonna say. There are some in favor, but the bulk is against. Any other discussion? Well, I will make a motion to decline the use variance for the property for the gift shop, is what I stated. I'm fine with Lavender Farm, but I'd make a motion to decline the use for the gift shop.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll give it a second.
Second by Beth.
All in favor?
Motion, so the variance is declined.
3-1.
Yeah, 3-1. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I hadn't done that part yet.
Yep.
I gotta be the asshole.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing that.
Yeah. Mhm. So, all right.
All right.
Thank you all for coming in. Yes, thank you.
And will we be getting findings of fact?
Yes, of course.
Yep.
I'll be in touch. But you gotta.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
No board comments or public comments?
Yeah, do we have any?
Any other comments from anybody?
Just for clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were kind of called.
All right, yep. I will second that motion to adjourn.
Okay. All right.